So like I said in past videos, when it rains, it pours. So of course, a Mortal Kombat 12 reveal is hopefully coming soon. And with that, these Mortal Kombat 12 leaks are just flowing, guys. And you know what's very interesting, and I've said this in multiple videos, but I'll say it again. I'll preface this video with, these leaks are always taken with a grain of salt. They're just for fun. They're just for good discussion. The game is not here yet, so it's just to kind of get, discussion going, the juice is flowing, all that kind of good stuff, and kind of get us excited for what's to come. So this is supposedly the first chapter of the Mortal Kombat 12 storyline from an anonymous person who is also a game tester. So they have leaked supposedly the synopsis for the first chapter of the storyline for Mortal Kombat 12. So let's get to it. So, of course, again, this is from our lovely Anonymous. I hope we get to meet Anonymous someday. But it says, tester spoilers, no info beyond chapter 1. So this is how it starts. Starts with Kronika being dead, yeah, and Liu Kang and Kitana remaking the universe as they see fit, right? They make sure no one will rise against the weak and appoint a council of elder gods to help them. But no Shinnok or Cetrion, yeah, because they're no friends of ours. Let's see. Shows eons have passed and Earthrealm and other realms flourish under the new supervision of the elder gods until a new royal family of Edenia reigns over the peaceful people and a baby Kitana is born. Watched over by Kitana, who is an elder god, she begins to train from an early age. That's really weird. Elder God Kitana training her baby self. Okay. The realms come together every generation in a Mortal Kombat tournament for the mortals where they can prove who is the best, though no one is killed. Okay. Literally taking the word to mean what it means. Mortal Kombat. Mortals in combat. All right. For the past 10 tournaments, the winner has been the reigning champion Shang Tsung, who Liu Kang advises and trains so that he would not make the same mistakes he did in his previous life. But Shang Tsung does not know of his previous life. Interesting. Time has come for a tournament, and the Emperor Onaga of Peaceful Outworld is ready to pick the best warriors and pay tribute to Liu Kang when Quan Chi reveals he was contacted by Shinnok from beyond this world in the form of a voice that remains even if Liu Kang erased the Elder Gods of past, and that he needs to pass over into this one with Onaga's help. Interesting. It is not shown what Emperor says, but Quan Chi and his minion, the woman with the painted face, whoever that is, go to the Lin Kuei Temple to ask the Grandmaster to kill the threat that is Hanzo Hasashi if he shows up at the tournament or the tournament. And there are Sub-Zero and his little brother who train and talk about loyalty to the clan, and the younger one is very loyal, but Sub-Zero is kind to the painted face girl and she tells him not to trust Quan Chi. Painted face girl, was this like a female Draman? I don't know. The fight starts here. Sub-Zero versus Scorpion. The Lin Kuei infiltrate the Hanzo Hasashi temple and kill all his family, but Sub-Zero has a change of heart when he sees the child and fights Lin Kuei members and kills his younger brother who wants to kill the boy. Hanzo runs with Senpai in chapter 1. If the last part is unclear, Hanzo runs with his family in the forest and escapes. Sub-Zero is mourning of the dead body of younger brother with his fellow members looking at him as a traitor because he got in the way and did not let Kuai Liang kill Scorpion's family. Oh, what a big twist. Kuai Liang. Okay. So, of course, given the way this is written and, grammatical and all that kind of stuff, you can tell this is obviously not real. This is obviously just for fun, but I think this has some interesting stuff in it. So, I like the idea that, and I guess it would kind of make sense, if I got Liu Kang and Kitana wanting to make things better, so they're trying their best to, put the best foot forward for these characters, because obviously if they've gone back in time, they didn't erase a lot of these characters, so it's interesting that they're going to try to, plant the seed early and say, Shang Tsung, you don't have to be bad, you can be good. Let me be your mentor and let me make sure that you are always on the right path. Now, we know from other franchises like Star Wars, you know, with Obi-Wan and Anakin, that sometimes you just have the darkness in you. You just have it in you, and sometimes you just gotta go to the dark side. You just can't be good. That's just not your destiny. So I think that's an interesting idea that at least I feel like this synopsis, you know, which we've seen in multiple leaks and, you know, leaks, that with this kind of multiverse timeline set up, you have, or you could even have sort of like the butterfly effect where you try to prevent something that will always happen. You know, not so much Chronic always had to be involved, but you know, you can't always change what's meant to be, no matter how many times you go back in time and change it. So, you know, there's been multiple movies where people have died and they've tried to go back and change it, like The Flash, the upcoming Flash movie. That's a great case of that. Barry Allen tries to go back to save his mom from being killed. Obviously, when he does that, he affects things in the timeline. No matter how many times he goes back to do it, something always changes. And sometimes the outcome is always someone that he loves dies, or his mom always dies, or, you know, Iris. It's always one of those characters. So it's interesting that kind of plays into that style. I do like that, you know, Shinnok is trying to come back for his revenge. He's trying to find a way back, just like Raiden did, you know, sending a message to his past self. You know, he's trying to do the same thing here. Of course, not really sure, you know, I guess if Liu Kang has erased Shinnok for good, even Cetrion, and Chronika's gone, then they don't, which I don't know where, you know, Shinnok's dad is, you know, somewhere possibly. But maybe all those people are gone, so there's no remnants of them. So of course, if he's in the future, maybe he somehow figures out this happens. You know, I'm not really sure. I guess he's just stuck as a head, right? I don't know if anything really happens to him, but I guess somehow he does get a message back that something has happened. So that's very interesting too. So of course, Quan Chi, I feel like, is never really a good guy. I'm sure, you know, he's kind of like, I think of him more of like Hades in the Hercules animated series. You know, he's kind of just, or the movie, he's always kind of dormant, you know, in hell, in Netherrealm, and he just kind of is waiting for his opportunity to strike. I feel like that's always how it is with him. So I think that's how it's going to be. Now, the Lin Kuei stuff is very interesting, and I don't really know how I feel about that, because I don't think that the Lin Kuei, while they probably were a peaceful clan at one time, I feel like they've always been kind of nefarious in some way. I don't feel like they've ever really been people you should trust. You know, the Grandmaster always has his allegiance to certain people, and I feel like, you know, that's just one of those clans that you just kind of can't mess with. So it's weird that we always have this Lin Kuei, you know, Scorpion Sub-Zero mix. I do think it's interesting that the brothers are flipped this time around. So, you know, it's more of Bi-Han being the hero versus Kuai Liang, which I find interesting. So there's quite a bit of interesting things going on here. Scorpion's family doesn't die, so he's on the run. So I don't know what his story would be like if he doesn't have to feel the pain of becoming Scorpion, but maybe he does. Maybe he does. Maybe eventually he does. They do die, and then he gets killed and comes resurrected, you know, back. So very, very interesting. I will be interested to see what the new story has to tell. I mean, we already know that he is going to be a mentor, or at least send a message to the great Kung Lao, Liu Kang, Fire God Liu Kang. So we know that to some degree this is kind of true. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about this, you know, leak, this insider scoop for the first chapter of the storyline? What are your thoughts are just about the, obviously, like I said, we know this is not real, but from what it has to offer, what do you think about that, and what do you think it has in relation to Mortal Kombat 12? That's it for this video, guys. Enjoy that like button. For more, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys next time on the Mashup.